I don't think people realize with the Cade and JJ situation is they both have the same eligibility left for 3 years. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think Stoney had a little point the other day, earlier today. I think he's just giving JJ the Hawaii game, but I think Jim knows he already has Cade as the starter, and I don't think that's really good for future recruiting. Because if JJ can't beat out Cade during summer, I know he got the shoulder injury, but during the fall practice or whatever, I just think he's playing him along so he doesn't transfer. Because they have the same amount. And you said JJ just wants 1 year, but they have the same amount, of years.
Who's the better quarterback?
Cade.
Okay. So what difference does it make if JJ decides to transfer at some point or not? I don't think it has any effect on recruiting. I think, if anything, it shows that you're playing the best quarterback.
So you don't think that – okay, first of all, the Colorado State, I think, is a much better team than Hawaii. So Cade's already got a tougher opponent. I know they're both cupcakes, but Hawaii, didn't they give up 63 at home to Vanderbilt? So if JJ has better stats against a less,
it's not going to be about stats. Team. It's going to be about the command of the offense, if anything.
So I guess my biggest thing is, what if they're equal? What if they have the really close to the same, and there's not JJ does not pull ahead? It's got to be Cade, right? Because he did win.
Right, but how does that affect recruiting? I never understood this whole. The thing with quarterbacks in recruiting in college football right now is you just got to go with your best guy. You can't worry about the next guy. You got to worry about right now because transfer portal is active and every team's going to be involved with it.
What I guess my theory is, and what Stoney kind of was, I think Cade is the man. I think Jim is just literally doing this to give him a taste, so he thinks that he has a chance, but he really doesn't.
Well, a couple things. Chris, I'd say this. First of all, I don't think this hurts recruiting any more than flirting with the NFL hurt him recruiting. I think that probably is something that he needs to overcome here moving forward. Now he's got a longer-term contract. We'll see if it impacts any class beyond this one. So that's point one. Point two is he has a job to win football games. I think one thing in this day and age, I think it's great to have two quarterbacks prepared because the likelihood of making it through a season without injuries isn't great. Guys get hurt all the time. So I think you need to be prepared to have two guys ready to go. And it looks like that's what they're going to have is two quarterbacks that they can win with. Jim keeps saying high starter level play from both of them. So he's getting them both ready. If in this day and age you ask me, hey, is your quarterback going to make it through the season without getting hurt? I don't care who you are. The answer would be no.
Right.
So it's prepare them both. And if he's just doing it to keep one of them from transferring, I mean, it is a little known fact, and I brought it up in the air before. Yeah, Cade McNamara has 3 years of eligibility left. He had a redshirt year, then the COVID year, and you can do a COVID shirt. So
let me ask you this. Looking at both quarterbacks, are they identical?
No.
Okay. They have different skill sets. What's the difference between the two quarterbacks?
One seems to be a high level, this sounds like an insult, game manager, but he knows.
It's not an insult.
Cade McNamara knows where to go with the football, delivers it on time, great at reading defenses, accurate quarterback. The other one's a bit of a stallion. He's a better runner, probably a stronger arm, can really fire the fastball. High upside.
But maybe takes more risks. Should at this point.
Yep.
They're different quarterbacks. So this is why one of the reasons why you can go with two quarterbacks, they'll play them both during regular season. They did last year. They played them both during their regular season. Will JJ if Cade's named the starter for week 3 and the rest of the way, do you think that JJ McCarthy still gets snaps in games? Do you think that they'll have, hey, we're going to run this package, and maybe instead of just doing it for a play here and there, maybe they actually give him a series?
Yes.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
If Cade wins the job,
if you've got quarterbacks that have different skill sets, and you want to change up once in a while, you can go ahead and do that.
I would suspect that if Cade wins the job when it's all said and done, JJ would still play, and probably more than he did last year, because he also is developing and getting better. And he does bring something to the table that Cade doesn't. And it's something else that an opponent has to prepare for, and it allows your offense to do more things.
Now, as far as the transfer portal is concerned, and if you're worried about him transferring, I wouldn't worry about that until after the season. And after the season, you'll know if Cade McNamara decides to come back for another year, or if maybe he's had a good enough year he thinks he can go pro. That's when the decision's going to come down. It's not about this season. It's about going into the next year. Has McNamara improved enough where he can take it to the next level? Or has JJ improved enough where he knows he's going to be better than Cade? Maybe Cade's the guy who's looking to go elsewhere after the season because he still wants to play another year of college football.
It's interesting. Brad Galley just tweeted this out because Harbaugh's meeting with the media right now. And this includes no quote. It's just Galley's assessment of what was just asked and how Harbaugh answered it. Galley tweets, asked how much transfer possibilities played into the decision to give each Michigan quarterback a start. Harbaugh was honest. He gets it. He knows the sports landscape. He made the decision based on these two specific quarterbacks and what's best for the team. I don't know if that really answers anything now that I've read it. Because what's best for the team might be keeping them both happy so you have two quarterbacks. And look, once you get to a certain point, like you can redshirt if you play. That was the other thing I thought about in the back of my mind. Does this have anything to do with if Cade McNamara or JJ doesn't play in one of these games? Is it kicking the can down the road a little bit for when they can make the transfer decision without using up a year of eligibility? Like, let's say JJ decides midway through the year to transfer, but he played in too many games. He can't redshirt. If you sit him out the entire opener, give him game 2, you're allowing that possibility, doing the kid a solid to say, look, if you want to transfer.
Has he redshirted yet already?
No.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I would think this through when he does something unconventional. That to save a year of eligibility for the kid, because I can't remember who did this. Didn't some program have a quarterback that they said if he doesn't, does this sound familiar? We're going to try and redshirt one of them to split up their years. But if he needs to play, he'll play. Do you remember that? Somebody did that a couple years ago where they announced they were going to redshirt a guy, but he was always preparing to be the backup in case the starter got hurt. Did that happen to Bama? I can't remember.
Was it with Bryce Young?
I don't.
And they wanted to redshirt him, but they had to play him?
Somebody can jog my memory. I swear that happened.